Hi class, today we're going to talk about multiplying decimals. Now, there is a rule. I know, there's always a rule. Well, you are going to always count your decimal places before you multiply. And then you're going to count them again after you find your product. Now don't worry, I'll write that down for you so you won't forget. Let's try it. First, let's try a decimal times a whole number. We have 2 and 49 hundredths times 3. Well, when we multiply a decimal, we line up the numbers, not the decimals. Let's see. Count my places before I multiply. Here's my decimal, so I have 1, 2 places. Well, that's a whole number, so I can add 0. So I know I'm going to move my decimal 2 places. Now let's multiply just like these were whole numbers. 9 times 3 is 27. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. And then 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Now I go back here and say, oh, got to move those 2 places. Remember, we place our decimal at the end, and we're going to hop to our left. 1, 2 places. So our answer is 7 and 47 hundredths. And there are 2 places after the decimal. Let's try another one. This time, I'm going to add a couple more places. Let's try 1 and 6/10 times 3 and 2/10. Same thing. Remember, we're going to count our decimal places before we multiply. So here's my decimal. I have 1 place there. Here's my decimal. I have 1 place there. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I'm going to move 2 places. Now, this time I'm going to use a standard algorithm for you people who like that one. Let's try it. 6 times 2 is 12. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Now remember, we multiplied our 1s, so we need to add that placeholder of 0. And now we can continue to multiply. 6 times 3 is 18. And now 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. Now 2 plus 0 is 2. 8 plus 3 is 11. And 4 plus 1 is 5. Now remember, I count my places again after I find my product. My product is 512, but I know I need to move 2 places. Put that decimal down there, and I hop 1, 2 places. And so my answer is 5 and 12 hundredths. Now, I know some of you all don't really feel that standard algorithm. You like the partial product. Guess what? You can do it with that too. The first thing you always have to do is write your numbers to the side. Just like before. We count our places just like before. We have 1 place here, 1 place there. Gives us 2 places. And now we're going to do our partial product. Well, we have our 10 and 6 after we decompose 16. And we have 30 and 2 after we decompose this, because remember, it's just like multiplying whole numbers, and we add our decimal at the end. So 30 times 10 is 300. 30 times 6 is 180. 2 times 10 is 20. 2 times 6 is 12. And remember, then we just find the sum. 180, 20, and 12. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 8 plus 2, excuse me, is 10. Plus 1 is 11. And then 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. Same answer. We have our whole number. Place our decimal. Remember, we move over 2 places. 1, 2. And we got the same answer. 5 and 12 hundredths.